Hi and welcome back to my channel. So I'm super excited about today's video, and I know I say that all the time because I am always super excited about my videos. In fact, let me just tell you something really quickly. So whenever I upload a video and you guys are watching it, trust and believe I have already prepared my video for next week. And the reason why I say I'm super excited is because I always love the topics that I bring to you, and so I can't wait to film them. So that's why I say I'm always super excited. So today I want to speak life into you guys, and we're going to talk about how to rise above any situation. So here's my question for you all, okay? When life doesn't go your way, how do you respond? And I really want you to take a few minutes to think about that. When life doesn't go the way you expected, how do you respond? See, some people throw tantrums. Some people shut down completely. Some people get angry and take it out on other people. And, some people just kind of hold it all in and they don't really do anything. They just keep going with life. So I really want you to think about that thing. When life doesn't go your way, how do you respond? Do you develop a negative attitude and a cynical outlook? Do you become absorbed in all the problems and the misfortune that you're experiencing? And so, like I said, we all have different ways that we deal with this. So really take some time. It doesn't necessarily have to be today, but take some time to really think about how you deal with those things. So let's jump right on in, and we're going to talk about how you can rise above any situation. And I have 6 tips that I want to share with you. So tip number 1, feel the way you feel, okay? Allow yourself to feel hurt, to feel sadness, to feel betrayed, to feel frustrated, to feel wrong, to feel used, and to feel alone. It's okay to feel those things. It's okay to have those feelings, but use them to help you get closer to what you really want. Give yourself time to heal, but don't let the feelings consume you. See, that's the key right there. I can feel all of those things. You can feel all of those things, but don't let them consume you. And speaking from experience, I have experienced that very thing where I allow those feelings to consume me every day, every hour. And I'll be honest with you, it does nothing but wear you down. So you've got to learn not to allow those things to consume you. Many times people check out of life when life happens, okay? They feel sadness coming on, so they turn to other sources to soothe their pain. Drugs, alcohol, sex, reality TV shows, addictions of any form can be detrimental to your happiness. So allow your feelings to work through you so you can release them and move on to feeling more empowered. And I can't stress this enough. And I think of all the things that I'm going to share with you today, this is the one thing that I really want you to walk away remembering. It's okay to feel the way you feel. Just don't let it consume you to the point where you're making bad judgments, okay? Number 2, live in the moment. Yesterday is over, and tomorrow will soon be yesterday's news. Be in the moment to truly enjoy life. Most of us wander around consumed with worry about what we think should or shouldn't have happened, or we project the same concerns into the future. But this takes us out of the moment. Learning to deal with problems as they happen versus worrying about them happening in the future will help you feel more balanced. Learn to take things in stride. Appreciate the moment for what it is. And again, I had to learn to do that. Sometimes things happen, people wrong you, and, you walk around thinking about, well, if I had done this or if they had done that, maybe the outcome would be different. Guess what? Live in the past. That's yesterday. Whatever happened yesterday, let it stay in yesterday and move forward. Because I promise you, not only will you keep your sanity, life will be so much better. Number 3, don't stress over things that you cannot control. And if you know me, then you know I have talked about this quite a bit. We have got to stop stressing over things that we can't control. I'm not a winter person. I'm not a cold weather person. And I never have been. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm anemic. And so I don't like the cold, period, point blank. But I don't stress over the weather because it's something that I cannot control. It is so far beyond my ability to control that I don't stress over it. I can't control what people say about me. You see what I'm saying? And I can't even really control what people think about me. What I can control is how I put myself out to the world, or so that you can see me in the light that I want you to see me in. Now if you see something else that's completely different, I have no control over that, so I'm not going to stress over it. It's hard to let go of control, and Lord knows I know this firsthand. But when we can't change something, there's no use in forcing the issue. This will only lead to distress. Expand your efforts on what you can control or change. And I just shared that with you. To have emotional well-being and live with true freedom requires that we accept the things that are out of our control. You just have to. And I know it's hard, and I know you might be saying, well, Michelle, that's easier said than done. And you're right, it is. But it's something that you have to learn to do, because if you don't, I promise you, you will walk around stressing yourself out to no end, worrying about the things that you can't control anyway. Okay? Number 4, turn your downfalls into something positive. As the saying goes, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. And it really does. But unfortunately, it's easy to focus on the bad events and forget about the good things that have happened. I think we all have found times where we sat, and just like I'm looking out this window right here, we sat and we thought about the bad things that may have happened to us over this past year. Or let me just say since January of this year. And we forget really quickly that we've had some great things to happen to us. But for some reason, our mind automatically goes to those bad things. But I want to encourage you today, stop focusing on the bad things. Now, I'm not saying totally forget them, because what I want you to do is learn from the things that didn't go right in your life. Learn from that, but then move on. Spend time thinking about and basking in those things that went great for you. Because guess what? Those are the things that are going to keep carrying you through to be able to create more happy memories and happy things. Just saying. I'm going back to my notes. Sometimes it's a financial loss, a loss of a relationship, or physical illness. We may suffer until we become hopeless and desperate. But again, stop focusing on all of these bad things. Spend time thinking about the things that have gone right for you. Instead of whining about problems, do something to make things better. Let me put a pin right here, because I'm one of these people. You can come talk to me about your issues, and I will sit and I'm going to listen, and then I'm going to respond. If you cry, chances are I'm going to cry with you. But at the end of that crying session, and we've wiped our eyes, I'm going to ask you, okay, so you know what the problem is. Tell me what the solution is. What are you going to do different? What are you going to do to make things better? I am not one to sit and have a pity party with you. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not. And I shared this with someone a few years ago, and they said to me, well, Michelle, you're not a good friend. I said, well, how am I not a good friend? I said, I'm a good friend because I'm not going to allow you to keep reliving whatever it is that's happened to you. You already know what the issue is. I want to know, what are you going to do to fix it? That's what I want to do. I want to help you with the fixing part. I need to get a shirt that says I'm the fixer, because that is my goal in life, to try to fix things and fix people. But what I will not do is sit and keep wallowing in the things that didn't go right. I'm just not going to do it. As we all know, nothing changes from idle complaining, and this is so true. But for the same reason, it's still easy to feel like a victim. Blame other people and damn the world for our problems. And guess what? We all know people that are like that. Everybody in the world is the reason why their life isn't going great. And you and I both know it's not true. It's you, it's me, it's us, okay? Instead of complaining about how horrible things are, we can become active in making our life and the world a better place. Being an activist for yourself. Now let me say that again, because somebody missed it. Being an activist for yourself and others gives a sense of meaning and control. Many problems can be fixed if we're willing to ask ourselves, what can we do about it? Okay? And I've had to do that several times when things happen in life. I say, okay, well, Michelle, you know what? This happened. So what are you going to do about it? How are you going to fix it? What are you going to do differently? I've shared in previous stories, I've shared with you that I am a power lifter. And, I've had times where I trained my butt off. You hear me? And I went to compete and maybe, things didn't quite go the way I planned. But the beauty of it is, and this is why I love, and sometimes people ask me, how come you always video in your training sessions? Because I like to go back and I can see where my mistake went. In the very beginning, learning how to squat. It's one of those things that everything has to line up, because if one thing is off, your squat is not going to be good at all. And I had to learn that every time my coach said to me, sit up straight, chest up, head up, chest up. That's the command he would give me, so that when I'm squatting and I go down, straight down, and come straight up, bam, it's a perfect attempt. But when I allow my back to round, and now I've got weight on my back, right? You got weight on your back, your arms about right here. And if I'm bent over and I'm trying to come up out of the squat like this, it's hard to do that. And the heavier the weight got, and the more I was bent over, I wasn't able to stand up with the weight. And I'm pretty sure there was a reason why I was just telling you that story, but I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. And there was a reason why I was sharing that with you. What was it? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back to my notes now. So the reason I was sharing that story with you is because, I kept having this issue with locking out my squat. And I had to ask myself, now, Michelle, what are you going to do about it? And I said to myself, going forward, every time you squat, I hear my coach's voice in my head saying, head up, chest up. And that's what forces me to sit up straight. So I didn't just keep complaining that, hey, my squat's not perfect, I can't get this right. I decided to do something about it. I learned from the mistakes that I've made in previous competitions and previous training sessions. I learned from that, and I was able to put a new plan in place and now make my squat perfect. So, number 5, dare to be different. When we're unsure of how to act, we often look to others to see what to do. Instead of doing things the way others want, uncover the essence of who you are and do things your way. Let me put a pin right here. I've never really been a big fan of following the crowd, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see people doing things and it works great for them. But I love what I just read to you here about uncovering the essence of who you are, or of who I am, to find my own way and do things my way. Now, I'm pretty sure, we all have looked at somebody in our businesses, on YouTube, wherever, and they're doing something great. And oftentimes you see folks who try to mimic what somebody else is doing, but what happens is you become frustrated. You know why? Because you're saying, wait a minute, I'm doing exactly what they're doing, but they've got more followers, they've got more subscribers, they've got more likes, all of that great stuff. Stop doing all of that. Find the essence of who you are, and then you do what is right for you. Doing things differently also means being prepared to change and innovate quickly. We live in a right now, I like to say right now, society where change is rapid. New ideas and trends come and go, so you can no longer be afraid to take action and go in a new direction. And this, I'm going to encourage you to really put this into place. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop trying to do what everybody else is doing. Find your niche and work that thing for you. Okay? Last but certainly not least, get unstuck. When something has happened, when something bad has happened, people often relive the experience over and over and over again in their minds. They hold on to guilt and regret, and they can't seem to shake the feeling that they're a failure. When we focus on our past mistakes, they can start to define us. Look toward your future with right expectations and begin living now for the life that you desire. Successful people respond to challenges and failures with a positive attitude, resilience, and determination. They are optimistic about how the challenge can make them a better person. You too can deal with the struggles in the same way. So, that's a deep one. That's a deep one for a lot of people, and a lot of people cannot move forward. Why? Because you keep replaying that thing in your mind. Okay, so you set up a meetup group. You created a meetup. Nobody showed up. You put together, took all your hard time and your hard work and your time and your energy, and you put together that workshop, and nobody showed up. Guess what? That doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't make you a loser. It just means that the people that you need to reach for whatever it is that you're doing, you haven't reached yet. That's all. Stop reliving these bad moments. We just have to. And like I said, a lot of people do it. We all have done it. I've done it from time to time. But then you know what I said, Michelle, you better stop playing. Let that thing go. So what, it didn't work out. You just need to reach out to a different group of people. Okay? And stop walking around holding on to guilt, frustration, and regret and all that kind of stuff. Honey, let me tell you something. I don't care what's happened in my life. I don't regret anything. You know why? Because the things that have happened in my life that that didn't end well necessarily, have made me become the person that I am today. And so I am thankful for those opportunities. They may not have felt good at the time, and they probably don't feel good now if I sat down and thought about them, but they helped to shape me and mold me into the person that I am today. So for that, I am truly thankful, and I refuse to walk around with regret. Period, point blank. So I just want to encourage you, like I said, how to rise above any situation, because let me tell you something. I don't care what's going on in your life. You can rise above it. Okay, you can rise above it. Right now, I know people that are going through divorces. I know people who are in relationships that are not quite working out anymore. I know people who have children who are just acting a plumb daggone fool. You hear what I'm saying? Just going through so many different things. But if you hold your head up, you can overcome any situation that you might be going through. So I sincerely hope that this video has helped someone, or if you know someone that it could help, please feel free to share it. I would truly appreciate it. And before I go, I'm just going to go over those 6 points very quickly. So how to rise above any situation, you ask. Number 1, feel the way you feel. It's all right to feel how you feel, but then pick up that sorrow and that pain and that hurt and keep it moving. Number 2, live in the moment. Stop living for yesterday. Stop worrying about what happened yesterday or last week, last month, last year. Live in the moment. Number 3, don't stress over things that you can't control. This is a big one, because we spend way too much time worrying about things that we can't control. Number 4, turn your downfalls into something positive. When things don't go right, find the positive in it. And I promise you, if you look deep enough, there's always some positive in there. Number 5, dare to be different. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop trying to do what everybody else is doing. Find that thing that works for you and make it work for you. Again, stop trying to be like everybody else, okay? Number 6, last and not least, get unstuck. You have to get unstuck. Sadly, some people like being stuck. Some people like being the victim. It just works for them. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to get unstuck, and we're going to be the best that we can be, because there's so much great in all of us. And I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. So that is all that I have to share with you guys this week. I want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much. If you need to get out and go work out after your meal, go do that to help, move things along. But I seriously wish each of you a wonderful Thanksgiving, because we truly have so much to be thankful for. And on that note, I love you guys to the moon and back, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Take care.